Is it time to say shame on you, Clint, for not winning hard enough to carry me? Anyway, if you liked one EMP, how about... Well, if you like 2 EMPs, how about 2 more? Yeah. This time I'm throwing it more here, because I could potentially hit this side as well. It remains to be seen if the opponent is doing something against these shields going down instantaneously. I don't see... Okay, it looks like we have EMPs across the board. Oh no, we have quick cooldown, I think, for Anchorite. He gets his missiles back with that and can missile out some late chaff. Meanwhile, we all took the EMP blast. Is that an earlier EMP blast? Or did he just not take much before then? No, that isn't possible. There must have been an earlier EMP. I'm losing sight of all these EMP blasts. Anyway, you can see that about 3/4 of the board, or 3 of 4 sides are getting blasted. We have another Scorpion here, but I think this shield is going to stay alive unless something incredible happens. So maybe it would have still been better to throw that in the middle. Maybe further into the middle so that we hit these steel balls and make them slower. It's also time for long range speed, apparently. At least on our side, the opponents are currently only... Oh no, we have a lone here, but no range nor speed. Alright, let's see what we will be doing this round, if I can be successful, or if everything's going to fall flat. Well, my EMP does get rid of some Fang shields, and Double Shot is also pretty good at dealing with Fang shields. However, there is not any more meaningful EMP beyond this. The big addition that I had this round is these Mustangs. These Mustangs are well capable of wiping out the stupid Fangs, especially the Fangs at the start. Now they are kind of locked onto fortresses, but you can see that once a Scorpion just fires onto that fortress, onto a fortress, the vast majority of the Fangs are already gone. And if the fortress dies, then suddenly the Mustangs free target onto the Fangs, because naturally they are more at the front. And suddenly it looks pretty bad. This is a lot of Scorpions surviving. And Clint has also managed to eke out a win here. I think the Phoenixes have gotten sold in the meantime. I needed the eco. We'll see if they are still present and simply got killed. It is, however, not over yet. You can also see my computer chugging because, well, Scorpions are shooting. Scorpion shooting is tanking my performance badly. Yeah, it seems I sold the Phoenixes last round. We have more cash in the form of a saber, although you could also just put that saber in the front. A melting point for me that I sold. Is the saber worth more or the melting point? Maybe I should have done the math here. Anchorite, anyway, is picking the melter, and we will see what Daedalus is doing. He is going for fire badgers. Alright. A bit more diversity here. I'm surprised we don't see fire badgers here. But I guess the melter may simply be seen as something worth more. Clint is going into overlords. Meanwhile, I am adding acid to my Scorpions. We have an orbital here, but shields across the bow. The fortresses are also scaling and the marksmen are scaling. At this point you can definitely think about hitting the elite marksman button. I have yet to put even a single tech on my marksman. And only one marksman ever leveled so far. So they really aren't doing all that much. I guess the Scorpions are just taking all the kills and all the names. They exist as anti-air guards. Although at this point the Mustangs are getting that job done. More missiles to clean out this more quickly. There is now something in front, so I will not be getting free shield snipes on that tower. On that tower shield, or whatever you want to call that. Alright, let's see how this game goes, or rather how this round goes. It could easily be over if Daedalus and Anchorite take a significant loss. Shields are going down pretty quickly. My shields are lasting a good while. The oil here hasn't accomplished that much so far, but now the shields are gone and I am pretty much naked to the orbital, or whatever remains of that orbital. Acid is making my Mustangs do a lot more DPS. If something is standing in acid, Mustangs will take care of it very quickly. Not that they have any problems dealing with the Fangs. Right now I still have a bit of chaff in the front, and my opponent's fortresses are almost naked. But almost is not completely naked. That marksman is dead. Can I snipe the rest of it? Unlikely. I get another fortress. Maybe a tower? I do get a tower, but the Scorpion dies immediately after, basically. There is a marksman here. There is another squad of crawlers. This does not look well for Clint and me. We are currently getting blasted by that one marksman. We do kill it, but that's about it. So, more oil. For everyone except for Clint. Shields are up as well, because, well, if you get oiled at this stage, if all of these fangs get evaporated upon spawn, that's gonna be a bit of an issue for Daedalus. And, of course, you don't want oil in the middle of this. There's always a chance that somebody buys a war crime Vulcan. These do also have the oil bomb, so that is another potential strategy. Just burn the opponent. And, yeah. This is gonna be interesting. Some more sledgehammers, because at this point I'm not so sure what I really need. But this strategy is basically have some sledges here, hope this pack eats the missile, and this pack gets shot enough by these fire badgers so that the oil actually comes through. Although that really isn't the greatest of moves. Missiles are currently delegated to chaff deletion only. And I mobile beacon some crawlers towards the middle because I think it's likely that there won't be much oil. These stormcrawlers get AoE. They get to do less damage by half, actually. It is pretty significant. But they also get almost double the splash range, and that means about 4 times the area. Slightly less than that. Missiles as well. We're gonna see if the Scorps Stang with sledge support can actually win this one. The frames are dying, but I am going to try and keep both boards on the on my field of view. You can see that currently it's taking a toll here. The sledgehammers are tanking, they are doing a fine enough job, and Stangs are dying relatively quickly. So there is actually a significant core of my army, but now the oil comes in. Clint has already died. I didn't even really look. This time, however, it seems that my army is significantly more powerful than my opponent's. I think it's simply that I now have a significant enough amount of Mustangs. The question is, will it be enough? Well, we will see that. So I do get a tower debuff here. But my units are going to die a bit in that fire. Marksman has died, or the marksmen have died. There's still some assault marksmen left, but those aren't gonna survive. A Scorpion gets killed, and if you look, this is not going to be enough damage. The one Scorpion dying here saved Daedalus and Anchorite. At this point, the amount of stuff players have literally starts going through the roof. And we get yet more. Is it a unit drop or is it a normal reinforcement round? Let us see. You can basically hear the gears in the heads of the players turning. It is a unit drop round. War factory for me to sell. The rhinos for Anchorite, the wasps for Clint, and we'll see what Daedalus is getting to round out his army. I'm not sure you want that many wasps into... Well, technically these are only level 1 anti-missile Mustangs, so it might work. Apparently Daedalus has chosen the Wraith. And now, I am actually glad I have these marksmen. They did get EMP in the meantime, because why shouldn't I shut down some of my opponent's units? I don't think the sledges are going to survive until that matters, and they also get levels. So these marksmen are in a prime position to take out Wraiths. This is a looming threat, because there is no way to prevent it other than selling or repositioning this fire badger. Meanwhile, I am doing my best to delay some crawlers here to a timing that I hope will be meaningful enough. Shields across the board on both sides, basically. These steel boys have been living a very thankless experience, a very thankless life, basically being big chaff units or something along the lines of that. We have loose crawlers, and it's all coming down to this round, potentially. Shields have been punctured for my opponent, and, well, they have been destroyed for my opponent. And it looks like, with the aid of the Wasps and the Overlords, Clint is just washing over this board. Meanwhile, I have to deal with EMP now. EMP may actually be an issue. The marksmen have actually dealt with all of the Wraiths, so at least I won't be getting killed this way. It is going to come down between a fight of basically just the Melters against these nerfed Scorpions. However, there is simply too much Scorpion here for my opponent. The Melters get completely and utterly blasted. Clint actually lost. I have no idea how. It looked like he had Overlords shooting at the core of his opponent's army. However, my army is very much so powerful. This is a lot of triple tech Scorpion to deal with. And though they do not outrange everything by miles, like Scorpions in Siege mode can do, they simply have the HP and the burst damage to make this a convincing final round. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this, in parts a bit slideshow-y of a match. Even setting your graphic settings down, putting them down, doesn't really do much of anything in my experience. I wonder if this fort actually got anything done because there's an EMP Farseer pretty close, but it might just get absolutely destroyed before EMP hits. I would have to check that, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the further matches that I played with Clint, which are going to be recordings of live casting or live playing in that sense. So, until then, I wish each and every one of you an absolutely amazing day, and I hope to see you next time. Until then.